If you've ever been around other real estate investors, I'm sure you've heard the terms wholesaler and bird dog. And there's a clear difference between the two, but a lot of people get it confused. So today's video, I'm gonna be teaching you what the difference is between a bird dog and a wholesaler. And if you're new to my channel, my name is Justin. I talk a lot about real estate, money, and self-development. And I also just document my journey as a young real estate investor and entrepreneur. So back to bird dogging. All bird dogging really is locating and identifying distressed properties that can be bought at a discount and then handing off that property address to an actual investor who's gonna buy it. And in exchange for providing that lead to that real estate investor, you as the bird dog gets paid. So all you are doing is locating a property, talking to the seller, identifying that it's something that's distressed. And all you're doing from there is you're giving the address and the details to the investor. Now the term bird dog itself, it actually comes from hunting. So back in the day when hunters used to hunt for birds, and they might even use this term now, I'm not a hunter. When hunters would hunt birds, what they would do is they would have a dog right next to them and the dogs would be pointing in the direction of where the birds are at. And so the dogs would point, the hunters would aim, and shoot and kill, and then the bird dog would retrieve. And so that's where the term came from, and they brought it to real estate. It's the same exact thing. The bird dog points in the right direction. Hey, this is where you find the property. Here's the address. And the investor, they go for the kill. They buy the property. That's all it really is. Now, bird dogs and wholesalers are similar, but different. So bird dogs, like I said, all you're doing is providing the address and giving it to an investor. The wholesaler, they take it a little bit further and they actually talk to the seller and they lock it up themselves. Meaning the wholesaler themselves will talk to the homeowner, make an offer on that property, and the homeowner will accept the offer. So the wholesaler is actually offering on the home and getting it under contract. So they're getting it under contract to buy. And once they have that contract, that purchase agreement where it's signed by both the wholesaler and by the seller, they take the contract, they find a different investor, and the investor buys the contract from them at a higher price. Basically, like in a nutshell, that's what they do. So the wholesaler, they take it a step further. And because they do that, they usually get paid more than bird dogs because bird dogs often get paid referral fees. And these could be completely dependent upon the bird dog and the investor. But typically you see somewhere between like $500 to $1,000 just for finding the deal if the investor ends up buying the home. So that's something that could be paid to the bird dog. Whereas with the wholesaler, it really depends on the skill of the wholesaler, how well they can negotiate. Let's say a wholesaler offers to buy a home for $100,000 and they get it under contract with the seller at $100,000. Then let's say they have an end buyer that wants to buy that property for $130,000, $30,000 more than what they have it under contract for. So the wholesaler, if they were to give it to that end buyer and assign that contract to the end buyer, then that wholesaler would make $30,000. And that's very typical. So as a wholesaler, there are more skills required than a bird dog, but you often are rewarded more than if you're just a bird dog. And I realize if you're watching this video, you're probably brand new to the world of wholesaling and bird dogging and investing. Here's my recommendation for you. You can either do one of two things. I personally don't think bird dogging is that bad of an idea, especially if you're just trying to get your foot in the door. You know, all you have to do is locate a distressed property, whether that's you driving around the neighborhoods and finding a property that's maybe looking beat up or something like that, or talking to homeowners yourself as you cold call. But at the same time, I think it is well worth it for you to learn how to wholesale, because when you learn how to wholesale, you learn how to actually negotiate with sellers. Whereas with bird dogging, you're not really talking to sellers that much, you're just getting an address and providing it and getting paid a little bit because of that. Whereas with a wholesaler, you are actually learning skills. You're learning negotiation skills. You're learning how to communicate with people. You're learning sales skills. You're learning a lot of stuff, which can be useful whether you stick with wholesaling or real estate in general. It could be useful for the rest of your life. These skills are invaluable. And so I do recommend for most people to start and try to wholesale, but if they're not confident enough or they haven't learned enough, then I don't think bird dogging is a bad option. I think you should just do whatever you can to get your foot in the door and start taking action. Also, if you're a wholesaler and you have a deal or a potential deal and you need help to close it, I will gladly partner on it with you. You'll get to learn from someone who's done it and you'll get paid in the process. So if you want to learn from someone who's done it and partner on any deal anywhere in the US, DM me the word partner on my Instagram, and my Instagram handle is Justin You're Wrong. I'll put it right here for you. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you at the next one.